Muhammad Yunus, founder of Grameen Bank and 2006 Nobel Peace Prize winner, has had a profound impact in Bangladesh, where over 8 million people borrow on the microcredit system. The practices of this social business guru have now extended to countries worldwide. In light of the release of his new book, Building Business with Social Impact, IESE interviews the man behind the microcredit system on what it takes to become a social business entrepreneur and why the seemingly impossible is always possible.
This is where ideas are implanted in young people who go out to the world and run businesses. So to give them ideas what businesses can do in addressing the issues that we have around us, the problems that we couldn't solve, how businesses can make themselves effective in that way. You mentioned about the corporate social responsibility, which is a wonderful idea, wonderful concept. Because businesses most of the time remain so busy in their target, in their business objectives, which is normally the maximization of profit, and seeing their company grow, seeing their company dividends get bigger, don't have time to look at the issues for general public or world at large. So the corporate social responsibility idea came that after you make the profit, put some money away from the profit so that it can be used for helping people. Although the idea was wonderful, later on it was diverted into self-promotion of the companies, like PR kind of activities, promoting the company image rather than focusing on the actual objective of the CSR. So I'm saying that one way to use that CSR money is to invest in a social business, very clearly defined business to solve problems. So that way, not only you have the money, but you make the investment, you create a new company which is dedicated to social goal. It will be more effective, more efficient that way. The whole company and their creativity gets involved in that. All of these goals are achievable. These are not impossible things. Once you look at it, at the moment, some of them look very impossible. But we are going through an age where impossibles become possibles. Possibles are a kind of extension of the past, because you see how things are done, so you project it, that's possible. Impossibles come from the future, because things were never done before, couldn't be done before, but it has something, a challenge to the human creativity, how to make those impossibles possible. Many of the things that happen in the world were impossible. Human beings couldn't fly, but it was impossible, but made it happen. And down the line, people couldn't talk to each other on the phone. This was impossible. So the telephones came and it became possible. Internet was impossible. It became possible. So if you look at the impossibles, this looks very challenging, and these are the kind of things we should do because it's needed to be done. And social business also gives an opportunity to address those issues, bringing creativity into the picture. So how to make that happen? In a school like this, while we give the MBAs and PhDs in continuing the conventional businesses and so on, I would say that there should be another section of the business school which will be giving social MBAs, training young people to run companies to change the world rather than make money for the shareholders. Because in social business, there is no return to the shareholders as dividend beyond the investment they have made. So this is totally dedicated for social purposes. So you have both this education side by side. These young people have to see there are options in business. This is not just one kind of business. You can try to improve on the side, on the fringes, and see if it looks more acceptable, which is good. I'm not saying this we shouldn't do. We continue to do this. But at the same time, there's another kind of business which delinks itself from the very idea of profit making, not for the investors. Investors only entitled to get their money back. but the total dedication to solving problems. And that idea has to be implanted in young people's minds so that they can go out and create those things. Everybody expects a very high salary, lots of benefits in the company, because that's the rule of the game. So I want to be on the top of the rule of the game. So if you are saying, look, here you are not expecting to benefit yourself, but you are making impact in millions of people's lives. So I see another kind of opportunity for me. One is to have several houses, several cars, and all kinds of luxury that one can dream of having. So I got excited, I get that. The other one, it's not about luxury. It's about what role you can play in the context of the whole world. So given these two options, there'll be many people who will opt for changing the world rather than buy yachts and houses and the cars and personal pleasure. So that option has to be presented to the young people. And then they will choose what they want. Even I would say the young people of this generation, the present generation, are not too much attracted with their high salaries and the big cars and the beautiful houses and so on, because their parents already did that. So they are not as much attracted as a generation which came out of the Second World War. They had nothing. They wanted to accomplish those things, which the kind of dream things for them. But the present generation started their life with those things. How much you can add on top of it. So they are looking for opportunity, and they are more creative because the technology is in their favor. They can connect themselves throughout the world in seconds, and they do things which couldn't be done before, and they can accomplish within a year, which it took lifetime to achieve. So they want to see that creativity has a meaning in the life of the people and the world as a whole. First of all, the present crisis, the financial crisis, is a kind of a wake-up call to tell the world that, look, the system that you're working with has tremendous flaws, basic fundamental flaws. This hiccup will come back if you don't fix those flaws. So we are now busy trying to get back to the normal situation as desperately as one can get. And I've always tried to remind people, don't get back to normal situation, because this crisis gives us a tremendous opportunity to redesign the whole system. If we didn't do the redesigning and got back to the normalcy, we are waiting for a still bigger disaster, because the same thing will come up because it's built into the system. So that system has to be fixed before we move on. And that system fixing will require the financial system has to be redesigned. Because this financial system is a skewed system. It only works with the very privileged people. It doesn't work with the common people of the world. 2/3 of the world population has nothing to do with this banking. So for them, these banks don't exist. So why don't we take this crisis as a kind of a turning point? We make the banking system an inclusive system so that everybody has an access to this system who never had any access before. And now people cannot say it cannot be done because we have done that. That's what the Grameen Bank has done, microcredit has shown all over the world. It works, and people pay back without collateral, without guarantee. It works beautifully. So why don't we integrate into a total system rather than say, oh, this is a footnote, they lend money to the poor people. So this is one. And also reconceptualize the whole idea of business. Business doesn't have to be just single-minded pursuit of money and forget about everything else. And in your school, you kind of bring this executive, shake them up. Please remember the rest of the world. These are other things. But still, when they go back, sit on their chair, they forget. Because the system keeps you moving in the direction system is supposed to do. So we said, why don't we create the conceptual design so that you have two different kinds of businesses and people can choose to do both or do specialize as one. And I'm sure many people would like to do both. Make money in the money-making business and use the money to change the world so that they feel that there's a purpose of my making money. It's not simply money that I'm interested in. I'm interested in having the power to change the world. This money gives me that power, And I use the technique of business to solve the problem of unemployment, problem of old age, problem of status of women, problem of diseases, problem of poverty. All these can be addressed by social business format. And I can bring technology, I can bring creativity, which I never used before, for changing the world. I used it all of this I used for making money. Now I use this technology to change the world. If we do that, all these problems will not exist anymore. Government role would be to facilitate this process so that people see there are two kinds of businesses and so on. And under the same business law, company law, we can work in both ways. And in social business, we are not saying government should give a special privilege to the social business because they are changing the world. We say, no, don't take any special privilege. You do exactly the other businesses do, pay the taxes, and go through the same rule so that nobody feels jealous about you because you are getting a special favor or something. And you want to pay the taxes because you want a good government with resources so that they can maintain the law and order and also facilitate the thing the citizens want to do. So that will be the role of the government, to see that the ideas of changing the world can be supported in education and the policies and so on. To me, universities are there to find solutions. Otherwise, universities has no meaning. I mean, digging into the old things and so on. Is to learn something for the present and the future. So universities are created to take people to the next level, not just to repeat what we have done in the past. Past is relevant because we want to create the future. So that way, university has to have a practical role. It's not a place just to theoretically see the world. Because unless you are connected with the real on-ground experience, you'll never know what the theory means. Theory becomes very abstract, disconnected from the real life. It shouldn't be so. So I'm very happy that the University of Navarra is doing that. And all those diseases can be solved. Like diseases like malaria can be eliminated. Smallpox has been eliminated. And many other diseases are already on the way to be eliminated. Polio has been almost eliminated. Just a tiny little bit is left. It will be a history. There's something called polio will not exist. Tuberculosis is on the way out. So this is possible by creating right kind of institutions and policies and so on. So universities can play a very important role in that, and how to make those conceptual framework so that people can devote their energy, creativity in that direction. I'm trying to focus on the issue that each person, whether he or she is a student of IESE or is a young person or on the street, have the same feeling, same capacity, and must convince himself and herself that I, as an individual, can change this whole world if I want to use my capacity. Capacity is there, but most of the time, we are not involved in that capacity. We are busy in the capacity to change myself, to enjoy myself. We are not using the other capacity which can change the whole world. So I should be aware that I have that capacity. Now choice is mine, whether I should use this capacity or forget about it. So I said, use that capacity. And you'll have the world that you can be proud of, not ashamed of.